Hey guys, it's Christine here from I Should Read That, and today I'm going to do my very first 5-star predictions video. What I decided to do for this video is not look at this TBR here, which is slightly depressing and slightly overwhelming. Instead, I looked at my sort of TBR through the end of the year, which is very much too long. It's like 25 books long. I picked out 5 of those books that I think are going to be exceptionally good, ones that I think I'm really like almost guaranteed to love. I have a lot of great stuff on my TBR, and not having it all here doesn't mean anything. It just, I have too much stuff on there. Too much. This video would be like an hour long. So I have 2 proofs here from publishers, and the rest are books that I bought for myself, one of which is a Fairy Loot book, and it's probably pretty obvious which one that is if you looked at the thumbnail. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the books from publishers. The very first one, like this is not going to be a surprise to anyone who knows me even remotely. The very first one is the concluding book in a trilogy that comes out in January that I'm super excited about. This is The Winter of the Witch by Katherine Harden. I'm gonna love this book, and it's slightly cheating because I love The Bear and the Nightingale, and I love The Girl in the Tower. I feel like those books just get better and better as she continues to write. This is the last one. I'm gonna love it. It's kind of a no-brainer. If you haven't heard of these books, if you haven't read these books, I would so highly recommend them, especially if you are a fantasy lover or if you are someone who loves historical fiction as well, because they kind of combine those elements really nicely. They are set in medieval Russia, and they follow a girl named Vazia who can kind of see these creatures of Russian folklore. And this is a particularly bad time to be able to do such things because it is medieval Russia and Catholicism is spreading like a wildfire. There's a lot of persecution that's happening, and she's not necessarily the best at staying out of trouble, shall we say. I love The Bear and the Nightingale. Is one of the first books that I read when I started blogging about books in January of 2017, and as I said, they just keep getting better and better. I love these books so much. They're so good. This is going to be no exception. It's a no-brainer, as I said. The next book that I have also comes out in January of 2019. This is from Goblin, and I am like super excited to get my hands on this. This is The Girl King by Mimi Yu. So I talked about this fairly recently, so I'm going to try to not go into it too much again, but I am like super excited for this. This book is about 2 sisters named Lu and Min, and they are the princesses of the empire, and Lu knows that she is destined to become the first female empress, and she should be, until her father betrays them and declares a male cousin as the heir. Lu goes off and she begins to build up an army to retake her throne, but Min discovers that she has some kind of magic power, and she continues to watch the court from the shadows. This sounds great. It sounds like it's going to be so good. It sounds like it's right up my alley. I was at a Galant's blogger event where they talked about the autumn and winter titles that they are going to be releasing that they're particularly excited about, and there was a video from the author, and she talked about this book and some of her influences and how excited she is, and I fell in love from the moment I heard about it, and I'm so happy to have my hands on a copy. This is one I'd like to read in December, so hopefully I will find out if it's going to be a 5-star book or not, but I think it will be. The next book that I have is one of my pre-orders. I believe this came out in September of this year, and I just haven't had the chance to read it yet, and also I've been waiting for the wintry weather because I think it's going to be perfect for the coming time of year. So this is Sisters of the Winter Wood, and this is by Raina Rosner. I feel like I'm going to really love this one, even though I've heard some mixed reviews, because I love the Katherine Harden books so much, The Bear and the Nightingale and The Girl in the Tower, and then hopefully The Winter of the Witch as well, because it feels like it has a lot of the same vibes to it. This is another one of those books that sounds like it's going to combine historical fiction and fantasy, and it's also inspired by one of my favorite poems, which is Goblin Market by Christina Rossetti. I don't really like poetry all that much, but I do really love that one. I love retellings, but how many retellings of Beauty and the Beast can we possibly have again and again? This sounds great because it is sort of either a retelling or it's inspired by, I'm not sure which, that particular poem, and I love the fact that feels a little bit different. This book is about 2 sisters who live in the forest in the Ukraine, and one day one of the sisters is kind of enchanted by this group of men who come through, and the other has to go and save her. I know very little about this. It's a little bit vague on the jacket copy, but I think that this sounds like one that I'm really going to love, and it's going to be perfect for the winter months. I think that this is going to be fantastic. Next is the only children's book that I have on this list, and it's one that sounds like it's going to be magical. I knew that I would love it from the second I heard about it. This is Pages & Co., and this is by Anna James. So not only is this super cute, check this out, but also underneath, I love children's books so much, underneath, look at this. It's like, if I saw this book, if little Justine saw this book when she was a kid, I just would have completely fallen in love with this. I have a feeling this is one of those books that I would read until it fell apart when I was a kid, so I'm very much looking forward to this. I know that it's bringing back some kind of nostalgia vibes to a lot of readers. I have heard wonderful things about this. This book is about a girl named Matilda, or Tilly, who lives in a bookshop with her grandparents, and it's called Pages & Co., as you can probably imagine. And one day she discovers that she is a book wanderer. She can step into her favorite books, become friends with the characters, and go on adventures. She becomes friends with Anne of Anne of Green Gables and Alice of Alice in Wonderland, and it just sounds magical, and it just sounds wonderful, and it sounds like the perfect thing to curl up with on a long weekend, maybe at Christmas time, and just like power through in a day. I'm gonna love this book. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind, and I am super excited to read it. It's another one that I've been saving for the cold weather. The last book on my list is one that I'm very excited for, although I know it's going to probably be a little bit of a tough read. This is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha. Again, if you have been moving in any of the YA bookish communities, you know all about this book. Everyone is talking about this book, and I have been looking forward to reading it for a long time, but I have been putting it off a little bit. I got a proof at Yelp. I've been putting it off a little bit because I know that it deals with some sort of difficult themes. Girls of Paper and Fire takes place in a land that is ruled by a demon king, and every year he takes 8 beautiful girls from the kind of peasant class to serve as his concubines. And our main character is Lee. Her mother, 10 years ago, was taken to serve the demon king, and now the guards are back for her. But she is the 9th girl, and this year everything is going to change. This is not only a lesbian romance, which is something that is quite unusual, not only in fantasy, but especially in young adult fantasy, which I think is quite surprising, but it's a book about women confronting their abusers, and that is something that I find incredibly powerful, and that's one of the reasons that I would really like to read this book. I know that it does contain rape and sexual assault. I don't know if it's on page or not, but I know that it is handled incredibly well and very delicately. I think that this book is going to live up to the hype. I'm really looking forward to it. So those are my 5 5-star predictions from my immediate TBR. What I might do, because I've never done one of these videos before, is because I know I'm hoping to read these really soon, I might go ahead and do a follow-up video and see what I actually thought of all of these books. So maybe keep an eye out for that. In the comments below, let me know if you have read any of these books. I would really like to hear what you think and maybe what I should read first, and also if you have any 5-star predictions from your own TBR, because we all have all of these books that we know we're gonna love. I'd like to hear what yours are. I post bookish content to this channel fairly frequently, so hit subscribe, check back soon, and I will see you next time.